Good evening, everyone, and welcome in to episode number 31 here on the Motorsports Almanac podcast. A little different crew so far. Charles will be joining us here in just a minute. He's got a couple of meetings he's finishing up, but we're joined by Dylan Baballe and Darren Hartwell. Dylan, obviously, being the promoter for Bout at the Farm, going on in Hillmar, California here in just a couple of weeks, November 1st and 2nd, right, Dylan?
That would be correct.
Yeah, and then Darren Hartwell. Good to have you on here, buddy.
Thanks for the invitation. I appreciate it.
Yeah. So you're going out to announce Dylan's show, right?
I'm going to help Dylan out a little bit. Yeah. Looking forward to it. I'm talking to Dylan about the event, and he invited me to come out and help him out. So that's going to be a dream come true. Number one, to get to attend a pole in California and help announce it as well. Be a part of the team out there. That's going to be awesome. I'm so looking forward to it.
Yeah. A lot of excitement going on around this poll for sure, Dylan. We've been talking about it, I think, since Bowling Green. Whenever we saw each other there, we started to talk about it then. But I've got the flyer here. Just kind of give everybody the rundown of what they need to know about your poll. You've got some tractors on there that people are going to recognize pretty easily.
Yeah, I'd say some of those trucks and tractors are going to make their way down to California this year. And we're pretty much running just about every class you see in California, from stock to 5-engine modified if they show up, and everything we make off this pool is going to Make-A-Wish. We partnered with Make-A-Wish this year, so we're donating everything to them.
Yeah, which is even cooler. So how long has Battle at the Farm? I think I see it on there. It's the second annual event. So last year was the first year for it even. How was the turnout? How's everything work out there? Just kind of give us the backstory about how it even started.
Ooh, so me and Dad have been talking about wanting to put on a pool for a while. And we ripped our orchard out here at home. And I was like, oh, well, we got room now. So we had Eric Rocha haul us in a bunch of dirt, a bunch of clay from Junior Silvera's Dairy out here. So now a nice clay track, and then, well, might as well put on a pool. And we did it for our friend right here down the road who had cancer, had a super farm tractor, and gave all the money to them. We raised, I want to say, $18,000 and change for him. And, this year I told Dad, it was a lot of work getting everything all moved around the yard and bleachers and K-rail and everything. And we might as well just make it a 2-day run.
Yeah. So we were kind of talking before the show started. You said all the classes that you typically see out in California are going to be there. Super Farm specifically, me and Wyatt kind of get more intrigued about. You said you had about 10 of those that are coming out there?
As far as I know right now, yes.
Yeah. So what about mini rods? Do y'all have?
This year, we're not going to be running the mini rods. Hopefully next year we will.
Okay. Awesome, man. So Under the Influence will make an appearance. I'm sure everybody that's kind of tuning in, that's part of our group, has kind of been wondering where in the world has Under the Influence been, because we haven't seen it out here with us and years going on now.
I want to say 2017 or 18 was last time we ran in Bowling Green.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
Yeah. It was sitting at Kurt and Craig Wildman's for a while, and it got down to Brent Long's last year sometime. We went and picked it up in April and showed up to the first pull out here, which was Turlock, and made a pass.
Yeah, and how's everything been going for you this season? We didn't see it in Bowling Green, but you guys were there, obviously.
Yeah, tractor's been running good this year. It's going back to Brent's at the end of winter, and we're going to do some changing on it and come out and play with you guys next year.
That's going to be a lot of fun. Glad to see you guys coming back out. So talk to us. You've told me some of the names from over here that you have coming. Are there any of them that you can for sure say, yes, they're going to be here no matter what, or are you still kind of waiting to hear back?
There's a few I can, but I like to keep it a surprise to kind of draw more of a crowd in.
Okay. Yeah. The ones that you told me that I was really excited about, and of course it's not being live streamed this year, right?
Working on something. We're working on something.
Okay.
We 50-50.
Okay.
We could have either video the next week coming out or a live stream.
Okay. That'll be awesome. It's definitely already has that aura around it for an event that everybody's going to want to see. And of course, with Golden State Invitational following the next week too, I think, right?
Yeah, it's the next weekend after us.
Yeah. Awesome, man. Well, we certainly appreciate you jumping up and letting us partner with you on this pull and for coming on with us. You said you were going to hang out with us for a little bit, didn't you?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
So,
Darren,
go ahead.
You go ahead.
Dylan, do you have any information that for pullers that are, skeptical or maybe wanting to come out that they're not sure of the event, what they should expect? Got any information you can relay on what they should do?
Get in contact with me is the best thing to do, or go to our Facebook and Instagram pages. You can see everything from last year and this year going on.
Yeah, awesome. Darren, you had something you wanted to throw in there?
Yeah. So Dylan, the question that you said, all the classes that you pull in California. So for fans that aren't, or even pullers that aren't familiar with, tell us a little bit about the classes that you pull out there.
So we're going to be running all of our antique and stock tractor classes. We'll run our street modified, stock trucks, and super stock gasser trucks, country modified trucks, and mod four-wheel drive trucks.
Okay.
And we'll run our stock diesels, work stock diesels, 3.0 diesel trucks, and pro stock diesel trucks. And we'll be running hot farm tractors, super farm tractors, and super stock open tractors. And for modifieds, we'll be running our Econo mod class, single engine modified class, twin engine class, and 3-4 engine class, and possibly unlimited.
Nice. So 2-wheel drive trucks too, as well?
Our 2-wheel drive truck class, I think we have one coming.
Okay. All right. Cool. Now, what about, I know you guys have the Under the Influence John Deere that Shane talked about. Now you have your own tractor too now, right? Tell us a little bit about that.
So my tractor has not ran at our pool yet. It's been hurt for a while. We split the block last year at San Joaquin City, which was 2 weeks before our pool.
Okay.
But it's an Alice Chambers 7080. We were running the hot farm class last couple of years, and it's a really strong running tractor out here. It real pretty, and it runs real good, in my opinion.
Good. Now, when we talked, you said you're going to have close to 100 hooks each night?
Yeah, last year we had, I think, right around 90, and this year we're got a lot more interest and a lot more pullers coming. So I'm hoping we're going to be right around 100 each night.
Good. And so tell us about the location. It sounds like it's really convenient to, hotels, restaurants, that kind of thing, easy to get to.
Oh, yeah. There's 3 or 4 restaurants here in Hilmar, and then you got Turlock's about 5 miles away, and you can just about go eat anywhere there, and there's all kinds of hotels and restaurants and things to go do around. I mean, you can make a nice little vacation. I think the beach is only about an hour and a half, 2 hours away. If you want to go up to the hills, it's an hour and a half away.
Nice. So you're kind of right in that Central Valley area where you're basically good distance from anything there.
Yeah, we're about 2 hours away from everything.
Yeah, good central location in the Central Valley.
Yep.
So I've got to ask, for the longest time, I think the first way I recently saw your tractor, do you still have the 2 stacks on it, or you gone down to 1?
No, it's still going to have the 2 stacks on it. That's something I've wanted since I was a little kid. When we were building that tractor, I told Dad I wanted twin stacks and a lot of smoke. I pictured a diesel super. He pictured that.
Yeah. So you mentioned Hot Farm. What does Hot Farm look like for you guys?
Oh, we got the 2 classes. We got class I was running in was the 8,700 or 8,500 pound Hot Farm class and the 12,000 pound Hot Farm class. And we had them combined there for a little while, to where the guys that were in 85 ran 85, guys who were at 12 ran 12, and we ran against each other. That was fun. Made the class a little bigger. They had more motor than us and a little more turbo, but we were right there beating on them most of the time.
Yeah, definitely. You're really good as a competitor, and I wish other people were just as good about it, though, about posting your runs from your own point of view. I think that's something that we could all do better to help out the sport grow and everything.
I love posting the GoPro videos. It gives you a good insight on what the driver's seeing and doing.
Yeah, it does. For sure. I'm trying to think anything else off the top of my head. I don't have anything for sure.
Rules packages when it comes to your classes, do they align with most of what the big three associations have?
Certain ones do and certain ones don't.
I know why you asked that question now, too, based off the combo we had beforehand.
Certain classes do, certain classes don't. I think our hot farm classes out here don't really match anything back there, and our super farm classes got some rules in them.
Yeah.
But for the most part, they pretty well match up.
Yeah,
for the most part. I think all of our truck classes are either based off PPO or outlaw rules from out there, and
okay.
Our truck classes pretty much all line up somewhere back there and could go run back there. And there are some hard-hitting trucks out here, especially in the Duramaxes.
Yeah,
you guys have quite a bit of Duramaxes compared to out here. I know the Cummins really dominates here.
Yeah, the Duramax is it's the big dogs out here. Smoking Max and Little White, those two trucks are. Stay tuned now. Those two trucks really rip. And you got Junior Silvera's truck, Eric Roach's truck in the work stock class, which is moving up Limited Pro. That truck is really tough.
So tell us about the sleds that you'll have there, Dylan.
We'll have our two sleds with the Valley Tractor Pools Association. One big sled, and we have a sled for the antique tractors. The big sled, can't quite remember whose sled it was before, but it's like a Bauer or a Love or a Bungart sled.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You've got a Love sled heading out there your direction.
Yeah, Massetti just got another one. Both his sleds are Love sleds.
Yeah, I was out there in Benson for the last hook with that one, so that was fun to see. We'll touch on that later on, though.
So are you going to run all the antiques on one track and the bigger stuff on the other track, or how do you have an idea how that's going to work yet?
All the hot stuff will run on our grandstand track, and all the antiques will be on the other side on their track.
Okay.
Everything's running. Yeah, it's both cool to watch both of them go at the same time, There's not a lot of places you can see the antiques and the hot stuff running in the same place.
Right. So you talked about grandstand. So you have all grandstand seating. Can fans bring lawn chairs
We have grandstand seating. If you want to bring lawn chairs, you're 100% more than welcome to. We have a section that we can put all the lawn chairs at, and whatever you want to do, grandstands, lawn chairs, whatever you guys want to do.
Okay. What about like food and concessions and that stuff? Do you guys have that too?
Yes, we have food. We'll have, I think it's tri-tip and chicken. I want to say, not 100% sure.
Okay.
Tri-tip and chicken and maybe hot dogs or something.
Okay.
We barbecue everything here.
Nice.
Oh, that'd be awesome. But that'll be good too.
Barbecuing everything here, and we're doing baked potatoes too, loaded baked potatoes, and I know that for sure.
And as you mentioned earlier, this year it's a Make-A-Wish. You'll be helping out the Make-A-Wish Foundation. So
yeah, everything we make off the pool, we are not keeping any profit. It is all going to Make-A-Wish.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's very cool. Is there going to be a link that people can donate to if they're not able to make it to the pool, or how could someone go about doing that?
I have a nonprofit number, but
Okay.
I do not have a link to donate to yet. Awesome.
Sweet.
We do have these two, which these are the Make-A-Wish championships.
Hey.
Whoa.
Make-A-Wish logo on them, and it's got our logo on them here.
You are definitely a wrestling fan. I can tell now.
Just a little bit.
That's awesome.
It's a battle of the farm, but it's also a battle for the belt.
That's right. So on Saturday night, we're going to spin the wheel, and 2 random classes will get these belts.
Oh, that is so cool.
Did y'all do them last year, or did you guys do something different last year?
No, so last year I actually have it over here.
I'm just intrigued now.
We had these last year.
Oh, those are
that's
nice.
cool too.
We're doing these again this year too in blue and white.
Cool.
That's gonna look sweet.
Will you guys have merchandise there too, Dylan?
Yeah, we will be selling shirts. We
Okay.
have shirts here, which is I believe Shane used the picture for the live stream here on one of the photos.
Awesome,
Yeah,
Dylan.
it was the one with the 4 vehicles on it, wasn't it, Dylan?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's absolutely awesome. Charles, nice of you to join us, buddy.
How's everybody doing tonight?
We're great.
Good. How are you, Mr. Koch?
Good.
Yeah. Hey, Dylan, show Charles the belt. I don't know if he got a chance to see the belt before he popped in.
Oh, hell yeah.
That's awesome.
I'm in with that. Love it.
I am down with that 100%.
Oh,
Yeah, we do something like that with the Diesel Drag Racing guys. We do a shootout and we give away a championship belt like that, courtesy of S&S Diesel Motorsport. That's awesome. Love it.
yeah. Trophy Smacks got us with these ones.
That's
Yeah,
sweet.
that's awesome.
That is awesome. So now that Charles has joined, I have a trivia question, Charles. Where was
All
the biggest
right,
crowd?
I may or may not know it, but go for it.
Where is the biggest crowd to ever watch a wrestling match? I think you should know
Pontiac
the answer to
Silverdome, WrestleMania.
No.
3.
No.
Andre
Yep.
the Giant and Hulk Hogan. So
I will dispute that.
You will be wrong. You will be wrong.
Has it been beaten, Shane?
I think it was.
No.
Okay.
No.
Total Gate, I think, was because All Elite Wrestling did an event over in Wembley Stadium last year.
Oh, okay.
I think they beat it. I don't know for a fact though.
Freaking garbage. No, the real title belongs at the Pontiac Silverdome. It's now an Amazon, fulfilling station or whatever, which is annoying as shit. But
Well, this ties back to tractor pulling because where was the largest crowd to ever watch a tractor pull, Charles?
Silverdome.
same place.
Yeah,
Oh man, I
probably
love
about what 20 miles from where you're sitting right now.
Not even.
I was gonna say 15.
Yeah, 15 miles away.
it. Hey
Yeah.
Dylan, I
Could
meant
be
to
there-
ask.
could be there in 20 minutes.
Dylan, I
What?
meant to ask. Has the special package got there yet?
It has not. I was hoping for it. I went home.
I was
right before
too.
this to check. I'm like, dang, it ain't here yet.
Yeah.
When it gets here, I'll have a picture of it on Out Flying.
Yeah, definitely. We're excited for that for whenever that one happens.
I was really hoping I'd have it for today.
Yeah. You've only got 2 more days before it should be there though.
Yeah, at the latest, it's 2 more days. So
Yeah.
look for the picture. It'll be on Facebook and Instagram. Out Flying.
Yeah, that's gonna be awesome.
Oh yeah.
Darren, you'll have to send me a picture of that because whenever you get there, you'll know what it is pretty quick.
Okay. All right. Sounds good.
Yeah. It's gonna be hard to miss.
Yeah.
So Dylan, it's called Battle at the Farm. Tell us. I know that you guys were finishing up almond harvest last week. Tell us a little bit about what you guys farm out there.
We have a couple almond orchards out here, and we do a lot of corn and oats and alfalfa and sedan. We do all custom work. We only have I want to say 60 acres between the brothers, all 3 brothers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
But you also do a lot of like land management, don't you?
Yeah.
I was gonna say
How
every time you're
important-
sending me a message on something, you're in a tractor doing something somewhere.
Yeah, I was disking out our neighbors over here, getting ready to go laser it and get it nice and flat so they can put crop in.
Yeah.
How important for you guys is the idea of almond harvest and what it looks like in terms of water availability to be able to sustain that? What's that look like for you guys?
Well, water is everything because we don't really hardly get rain out here. So we don't have water in our canals. We can't irrigate, and our crops don't end up too well.
Trees are a different thing. It's interesting.
It
Trees are really cool. You get to come out here. You'll see orchards just about everywhere.
It's awesome, man. You guys have a very diverse system going on throughout the valley, really. And for everybody, not just yourselves, but everybody that you guys got going on. You know, there's unbelievable amount of variety of what's being grown out where you're at.
Oh yeah, I mean, 5 miles down the road, there's a vineyard.
There was a time, and it probably still is going on, where the major companies in producing ag equipment would test stuff out there in the valley and verify it there. Have you had any connection with any of that, or been in on some prototype stuff, doing some demos?
We did a demo with the John Deere chopper. Came out a few years back. Was the 9900, and a lot of that happens a little bit north of us.
Gotcha. No, that's cool, man.
Yeah. It seems like the testing for everything is kind of more universal now. I mean, I know, and I can say it now because of the YouTube video that came out. I mean, the AF10s, we've been trying it out some here, and I can reveal that now. So, yeah. But we do have one other event while we're talking about promoting events and everything. This Friday, October 18th, Jim Roberts Community Park, Franklin, Kentucky. I know you guys remember the Pro Pulling League being there a few years back, and they ran 3 tracks. Their pulling's coming back to Franklin, Kentucky. It's going to be a benefit pull for a young man who, whenever they came up with the idea for having this pull, he was battling brain cancer. And unfortunately, he has since passed. But they're still doing this pull in remembrance of him. And all the proceeds are going to the family. But just class rundown. I was going to put it on the screen, but I couldn't get to save in a file to where I could enhance it big enough to where it would look good. Farm stock, 3,000 RPM, 10,000 pounds, 6 and 12 mile an hour. 11,000 pound open class. That class is always fun to watch around here. 12.5, 6 and 12, 13,000 pound open, 14,500 pounds in 12. I can't read that one. Open weight unlimited, so that's literally anything. 8,500 pound street diesel truck, 7,000 street gas, 4,300 pound mini trucks. And then light limited supers and super mod 2-wheel drives. Those are all on Friday on Franklin, Kentucky. If you go to my page, I have the flyer shared, and it's got all the information on it. So just while we were sitting here talking about events, but are y'all ready to jump into some of the other stuff we've got planned?
Maybe, but I'd want to talk about like the different associations you have in California, because obviously there is, MLM with Mercedes.
Right.
You have LNL, which is associated with your pool, isn't it?
Yeah, so LNL and VTPA are helping a bunch with this pool. We're running points for both associations.
So are a lot of the polls that go on with LNL and VTPA, are they invitation only? I know your event isn't, but are they invitation only? Are they like open registration?
Every pool out here, except for the Golden State Invitational, is open to everybody. That's the only invitational pool out here because we do not have the numbers to have invitationals everywhere.
Gotcha.
How many events do you have in a season out there, Dylan?
Ooh, I want to say there was close to 40 or 50 this year.
And what does your season look like? Because the weather is nice, pretty much year round. What does your season look like?
So we'll start in February and we'll finish up in November.
Wow. Okay.
Must be nice.
Now, is it bi-weekly, or is there sometimes that you have multiple polls a week or every week? Or
the last stretch here, we have a poll pretty much every weekend until our poll. So we're running we're not running anything, but Super Farms will be running every weekend.
Nice.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then we'll go to our pool, and then there's GSI, and then the next weekend is Denair, California, the same weekend as GSI. Which will Super Farms be there too. I don't know how many will be there, but that's a hook for the Super Farms as well.
Didn't they run into that situation last year where there was another pole on top of GSI?
Yeah, that's Denair. That's the one we took the tractors down to.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a great event.
California's a big state. How far do you travel, or how far spread out are the events?
A lot of the events that we hit this year were within 2 hours max, 2.5 from us, but there's some events that are 6 hours away from us. And
right.
Farther. We go to Nevada. We go almost up to Oregon. And yeah, we have there's a lot of events all throughout the state. We kind of don't go down south past Tulare. That's about as far down south as we go.
Yeah. I know that there's a big ag expo out there in Tulare too, isn't there?
Yeah, same time as Louisville. And we do a tractor pull there too.
That's awesome. Seems like West Coast polling is really starting to kind of make its way back into the media outlets in a way.
We're really trying. We're pushing for it. It's always great to have a spotlight to let people know there is still pulling out here.
Yeah. Well, and even if it's not a media spotlight, it's always in talking, because any conversation that we have, like you and I, Dylan, or with Shane or anybody else, there's like in the past couple of years, we've seen it. There's vehicles moving out there. I mean, if they're bought, if they're built, if there's anything, I mean, there's vehicles going out there, even if they have to travel. And
a lot of them have been coming from Mid-South, for the record.
Yeah.
Oh, and here. There's a couple tractors from here.
Yeah, that must mean that you guys suck then. Like, you're selling all your shit out to California.
Yeah.
Hey, keep selling it. I love it. Bring more out here.
Nothing from that. Come on.
If you need more tool drives, we know where the potluck is, and we can start pushing them out that way too.
I think we're good on our two-wheel drive class right now.
Oh man! Based off that poster, you're gonna have a couple.
Yeah, I think so. I think one for sure I know is coming, and then I can't really speak on some of the other trucks right now.
You've said that a couple times though. There is you can say some names.
Come on, give us a couple.
Not necessarily that. It's just some of the guys from out here. I don't know who's coming, because some people, they got that pool next weekend in Madera. They don't want to hurt their motors, and that's completely understandable. It's a points hook for them. Ours is not a points hook for them.
Wait, so GSI is a point hook?
Yes.
And it's invitational?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming all the points runners get in by default?
I couldn't tell you.
Okay.
I don't know that much about that pool, what's going on down there this year. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure on that.
Okay.
Are you going to crown champions for some of the classes at the Battle at the Farm, Dylan?
Yeah.
Or are there more points hooks?
This is the last points hook for L&O Productions. Will be here, so pretty much all the champions there will take place here.
Great.
And then for VTPA, we have the hook the next weekend in Denair, which will determine the points for us.
Okay.
Now, you were talking about before with the different traveling you do. Is a lot of the traveling you do you have to go always on Highway 99 there, or do you have to venture on the county, the poles, going on the county roads and
a lot of it's 99. Some of them are county. There's 2 or 3 that are taking county roads or taking back roads that are way out in the boondocks, but they're always great events and always have great crowds, and everyone shows up to them.
But usually you can just run right now 99 anywhere, because there's a lot of towns on that stretch there.
Oh yeah, either 99 or I-5, I believe, is you can hit pretty much any pool you want.
Wow.
Depending on where you live at,
So how far out from the city are you guys whenever you guys are having pools?
It depends. Like, we're here at home, we're 2 hours away, hour 45 away from Sacramento.
Okay.
And San Francisco is about the same thing, about 2 hours away. 2.5. traffic.
Didn't I see someone having a pool in Sacramento?
Yeah, so L&L has had 2 pools in Sacramento this year at the Ag Expo. We took the Super Stock to the first one. That's a great track there. That is a mean track there.
So how is the reception on polling? I know California's got a really heavy racing history behind it. What's the reception like when it comes to polling? What do the crowds look like? How's their engagement with it?
What are the demographics mainly too? I'm curious.
It depends where we go. Turlock normally draws a pretty good crowd, and that's right 10 miles away from us here. Normally draws a really good crowd there, and Sacramento drew a sold-out arena there. That was sold out this year, and I want to say Red Bluff. We went to Red Bluff, and that was sold out. That was a great track there, too, and a lot of these pools have been growing exponentially with spectators.
That's great. So do you run like a 320, 350 foot track? What do you run a floating finish? Do you pull it off?
Every pool out here is a floating finish, and whatever we have for track room, we make it work. We could have a 270 foot track or a 380 foot, 400 foot track, and we'll be right down there.
Okay.
I think the
So
last
I'll tell
time
you.
of the season on my tractor ended up at I think we were 402 feet with the last run on my tractor.
Wow.
Ooh.
Cool.
I'll tell you, I think my favorite video I've ever seen from out there is the one where you guys pull up next to the bleachers, and then there's the football field on the other side.
Yeah, that's the pool. That's Denair. That's where I was 400 and something feet there.
Okay.
So that is like
some of the places that you go through. If you don't go through a gate or something at just the right angle, you're going to be you're going.
Oh yeah, Sonora. There's a gate at the end of Sonora's track. That's a 218 foot, 20 foot through the gate there, and that's tight. It's cool though when you're blowing through the gate and the crowd goes crazy there. That's always a good crowd in Sonora.
It's a visual effect, I feel like, because you're literally going out the gate.
It's cool in the seat to do it when you're rolling through the gate at 20 miles an hour, 30 miles an hour. It's really cool in the seat.
Yeah.
So what's your track going to be like? Do you have a lot of runoff room? Is it kind of short? You got to sit a sand pile?
We're 370. We got 370, and then you're out in the sand.
But most of the time, you can roll pretty good, like 340, 350.
Oh yeah, that's a good hook. I like about a 330 to 340 foot hook's good for me. It puts on a good show for the spectators, and it ain't too hard on equipment.
Yeah.
I can agree to that.
Dylan Dirks is chiming in a couple of times. He says, sounds like Shan White needed to take a trip out west for third tractors to see how they compared to the ones out west.
And I told him.
Yeah, I know. You've been on me about coming out there for a couple of years now. I'm going to get out there at some point. I hope.
I'm game if I can convince the other ones to.
Yeah. Where's the one out west where you pull towards a castle? I believe I've seen videos of four-wheel drives pulling there like Donnie Reeves.
Yeah, I've been there with my tractor 2 years. For 2 years I've been there. It's called Castle Noss. It's put on by the Olsons. They have a country modified truck. That is a great event too. I think everything they make goes for American Cancer Society.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah,
what is the venue there that it is a castle?
It's straight up a castle. It's a dude who's retired and he started building this castle out there. It's got a drawbridge. There's a moat. It's actually a really cool place to have a pool at.
Huh.
So it's kind of like the feeling we get when we're kind of like in Brandenburg, kind of like an outdoor Louisville where you go through a tunnel and you're in like in like a bowl.
Yeah, that's how it is. We go through it was like a lagoon type deal. We put a hole in it and then you come in that hole and you go around and you're right in the track.
I need to see a video of this next time you're rolling up to the starting line there.
If my tractor's done, hopefully we'll be there next year. If they have the event, I don't know if they're having it again, but there's some cool pictures of my tractor from the castle with the castle in the background on my Facebook.
Yeah.
Cool.
John is it Boar, I guess?
Yeah, Boar.
Dylan's a closet Mopar guy.
So, no. No.
Oh, boy.
Duramax and LS.
Absolutely.
Duramax and
Are
LS.
most of your pulls, are they standalone events or are they at fairs, festivals?
I'd say
How does that work?
90% of them are fairs and festivals, and there's a few standalones.
Okay.
Like your own.
Yeah, ours is a standalone. GSI is a standalone. All the high school events are standalones.
Yep.
So what was their thought
they
process on having a high school? I mean, because like the one that we've seen that like you pulled right next to the football field, is that like an X track they just tore out and they just have a pole there now?
No, so that's the track, like track and field. We do is we get it all prepped like a pool track and we pull there. We had
How many loads of dirt does that take?
Wow.
It's the dirt. It's a dirt track for track and field running. You know.
You have dirt track like actual running events?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, we don't have the all-weather fancy tracks, or at least a lot of the schools out here don't. So they still have dirt, and then you got the circle dirt around the football field where they do their 300-yard races or whatever they do.
No way.
Yeah, mine was cinder when I was in school. It wasn't paved or anything like that. It was just a cinder dirt track.
Yeah, we have 2 high school events left on our schedule right now, which is Gustine FFA and Denair FFA, which are both great events and great tracks.
Yeah. John Bohr chimed in again. He said most high school ones are fundraisers for the FFA.
Yeah. So all the high school events out here, everything goes to FFA.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's
Very
even
cool.
cooler. Yeah.
I like the
So you guys
aspect
have
of
pulls
the
that-
donation. What was that, Darren?
I was just going to say there's polls at colleges, at a few colleges out there too, right?
Yes, Cal Poly has a pool out here. San Luis Obispo. That's a great event. They do it every year. They raise a bunch of money for their tractor pull program.
That's cool.
Wait, did you say tractor pull program?
Yeah, so they run
Yeah.
a single-engine Allison tractor and a twin-engine Chevy tractor.
No way.
There are a few tractor pulling programs out there. I mean, Shane, University of Kentucky has one. They have a smaller garden portion of it, and then Hawkeye Community College out here in Iowa, they have a diesel mechanics program, but they work on pulling equipment as well, and they also pull that too.
Yeah, I know one of the colleges that we're associated with in Illinois. I know they have one too.
Modesto
The Cal
College right
Poly
now.
program
Modesto
has been legendary. Yeah, the Cal Poly program, they've been around for a long time, and it's really been a very, very good thing that exists in our sport, and people don't realize out there that even is a thing. It's awesome.
Yeah, that
It's
really
good-
is.
it's
I
good
didn't
to
know
use
that really existed.
Yeah, it's a great way to get the youth involved in pulling out here.
Yep.
Yeah,
I say
which
we
is
need
something
more of
that
it.
we need to focus on as a whole.
I talked to a guy in Austin, Texas once, and he was wearing a hat or a shirt from the Cal Poly poll in San Luis Obispo. Because I just randomly, I was eating at a restaurant from Man vs. Food, and I saw this kid wearing a shirt, and I'm like, hey, are you from there? Did you go to that poll? And he kind of looked at me. And he's like, I don't know if he had been to the poll or what, but I was like, that's an awesome t-shirt, It was just really cool.
Actually, got a picture right here.
Trying to promote the sport,
So this is a picture from the Cal Poly pool right here of the Super Stock.
That's a beautiful picture.
Oh, that's awesome.
This was a while ago. This was when the tractor was probably first out here, so probably 2006 or 7.
Mountain in the background and everything.
Did you guys build that tractor, Dylan, or how long have you had that? And
Oh,
tell us about your family history in pulling.
So Dad started off with a farm tractor in the antique class. Oh, I can't remember how old he was. And then from the farm he went to I got a picture of it right here.
He started out the right way. He started red.
Then we went to this tractor right here on the bottom.
Yeah, and then he turned to the dark side.
Yep.
Road
Pretty
Gear Dan,
quickly.
which is a 12,000-pound open tractor out here. And then he bought the green Adrenaline Super Farm from back there. And then we had Mr. Tim Engler and Brent Long built us the super stock we have now.
Okay, cool. And when did that debut? Because I remember the Under the Influence. I was super impressed the first time and still am. But I remember I was like, whoa, that thing is awesome.
I think the first time it came home was 2005 or 2006 was when it got done and came home. And I think the first place it ran was Las Banas, I want to say.
Okay, nice.
Yeah. I remember you guys were one of the first pullers that I saw from California. But it was you guys, and I think it was the Perrys was another one whenever I was a kid because of my brother being in Super Farm and everything at the time.
Yeah, Jeff and Tim Perry, they took their tractors back there. Matt Crow, they've been back there. Donnie Reeves has been back there. And
yeah. Matt Crow was registered for Midwest Runner Nationals with his new 5.0 Pro stock.
Yeah, he's got that, and he's got a Super Farm.
Yeah, I think they're bringing all of that out here.
I think you're right. I think they are.
Are they from Crow's Landing, California? Because I remember a super stock diesel that pulled with Esden a few times from like Crow's Landing.
Tom Dompey.
Okay.
Tom Dompey, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not quite sure. Matt Crow is from Crow's Landing. That's named after the road. Is their family.
Okay.
I'm not too sure where Tom Dompey lives.
Okay.
But no,
it was an international. Yeah, it was an international super stock. I remember that, and I don't know if Esden was doing some work on it or something like that, but it had
an Esden lane set up on it, and they always pulled it with the headlights on. It was a 1066, and yeah, that was a cool tractor.
Yeah,
it was at trying to remember made farm show, and with Esden in the seat. Yeah, cool machine.
Yeah,
you said it did make the farm show, Charles?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I've got the video of it. I can try to find that even.
Yeah. It seems like I remember a McCormick super stock from being from out there too that came over here a time or two.
Pro stock.
Okay.
That was when I saw 24s, didn't it?
What?
You know, it had 24.5s on for a while when it ran out like Bowling Green and such, and then to put 30s on when it went back.
Yeah, so that was Kurt and Craig Wildman's tires that were on that tractor when it ran out there, and then it came back here and put 30s on, and he ran against the twin engine mods.
What was the name of that tractor?
Lights Out.
Okay, is it still out there?
No, it
got sold to Matthew Meadows. Bought it.
Also, that's even in the Bluegrass state then.
Yeah.
So that's going to be your next component light pro right there.
Okay. Huh.
Yep.
I remember you telling me that now.
We knew this one for a while. It's just been under wraps for a little bit.
It's been because I remember it ran against my brother. I think it was in Bowling Green.
Yep.
Well, boys, we have got a bunch of other things to get to for sure. As you guys saw, whenever we created the event, Dylan and Darren both, you guys saw that. All the things on the agenda for the night, but we took the week off last week, obviously. I was on vacation in Charlotte, North Carolina. I got to experience a lot of cool things out there. Went to the NASCAR shops out there, and that was something really, really neat.
Okay, Norma McKinney.
Charles, was that your computer?
Yeah, I was looking for a Dompey video, and I found one.
Oh, you did? We'll put it on here.
All right.
I think one year,
can wait.
3 of the California super stocks made it into Louisville of the diesel ones.
Give me a second here. Hopefully you'll see this and hear it. Ooh.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, right. Hey, Norma McKinney. Back to Bud Springer.
Oh, wow.
Okay, Tom Dumpy, ladies and gentlemen, the big red one right there. Tom Dumpy, folks.
I'm pretty sure that was before I was born.
66. Full distance now for John Dorman.
Pretty
Just
freaking cool.
scary.
Yeah, that's awesome. What year was that, Charles?
1998.
2 years before I was born.
That's cool. Great work finding that, Charles.
I
Charles
got
has
some stuff.
everything on
I got
here.
some stuff.
Yeah, you do. There's no telling what's on the computer of yours over there. Yeah. But like I was saying, we took the week off last week. Wyatt's birthday was last week. He's finally 21. I was on vacation in Charlotte, North Carolina, going around. Got to go to the NASCAR Hall of Fame. Man, the history of racing, just going through there, it was really cool. And there were some things that sent chills down your spine because of all the greats that are in there and everything. And then getting to go to all the different race shops. Junior Motorsports did an actual shop tour. One of the only teams that offers that completely for free if you're in the area too. And they took us around the entire place. And I got to see the Dirty Mo media where they record Dale Jr. downloading everything.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So unfortunately, Dale was on vacation last week.
Yeah, he was off this week. Penny Wallace was super sub.
Yeah, he was. And we were actually down there on that Tuesday whenever they were recording because someone had kind of tipped us off that they were recording down there that Tuesday. So we didn't stay to hang around and find out because I'll be honest, I was kind of hoping to meet Junior. I'll be 1,000% honest, but it was cool. And so we got to walk through, see all that stuff. And turns out the car that they actually had in the tech tent there, like with what NASCAR does, actually won the race on Saturday in the Xfinity Series at the Roval. So everybody was kind of in town and everybody was kind of buzzing because it was race weekend in Charlotte. So that was really, really neat. But by far, 40 years of Hendrick is being celebrated. So they had a big collection out. Got to see the Jurassic Park car that was deemed illegal that Jeff Gordon drove in the All-Star race all those years ago. Yeah.
Yeah, that's sweet.
It was. And there's so many things I can't remember at all, man. It went by in a blur. I'm trying to think of what else there was. Oh, yeah, we ended up in downtown Mooresville, North Carolina one night. And I made a post about it on the page because it was something that I wasn't expecting to walk into, but it was so cool because they had the ceremony for the North Carolina Auto Racing Hall of Fame. And a young lady by the name of Miss Shirley Cha-Cha Muldowney, I got to see her get inducted into the North Carolina Auto Racing Hall of Fame. And Charles, I sent you the picture of that.
Yep.
Whenever I was there. And then there was another gentleman. He was a pretty well-known road course racer before I was born. I took a picture of the sign. I know I have it. Elliot Forbes Robinson.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That dude's a legend.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I got to see him be nominated in there too.
He knows how to turn a steering wheel left and right.
And right, yeah.
Yeah.
That was one of the things they really hit on too. But I mean, we pulled into the downtown, and Mooresville, North Carolina is so small and downtown. But we saw the signs, and they literally call it a celebration of motorsports. It was so cool. They had NASCAR stuff out there. I mean, I was really glad that we ended up there.
There's a lot of stuff in Mooresville. I mean, it's not just auto racing. There's a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
We drove by the old DEI headquarters too. That place is still locked up tight.
Yeah, it is. It's a I'm not going to go there.
Me either. But it was just so cool to see, though, because you know who was there at one point in time.
Yep.
and then going through the Richard Childress Museum.
I have been to that place. That is awesome. If I could take anything out of anything that is in Mooresville or Kannapolis or any out of that place, give me a Dale Earnhardt original Lumina, because it just is a touchstone race car from my upbringing. And Darren, you know this.
Yes.
I don't care about Monte Carlos. I don't care about the old Monte Carlo, the 80s car. I want like a 90 Lumina Dale Earnhardt car. I would worship that thing if it was in my garage. That would just and they have one in the front window at the RCR museum last time I was there anyway. Just going back a ways. Oh my gosh. That is the car. Give me it.
First car, 1990 Chevy Lumina. True story.
Really? You had a Lumina first?
Yes, sir.
No
yes,
shit.
Sir.
That is so cool.
Yes, sir. And I remember I was at a Chevy dealership in Nashville, and I got a Dale Earnhardt Lumina t-shirt, and I just thought it was the coolest thing, right? Like, it was just cool. Like, if I went to a pull, I was going to any motorsports thing, man. I was wearing that Dale Earnhardt shirt. And I was at this big car show up in St. Ignace, Michigan. So just across the Mackinac Bridge. And
That's
a seagull pooped on my shirt. And I was like, oh, man. And, like, nobody would let me use the bathroom to, like, go in and wash it off even. It was like, kind of grossing me out. But I
have a poster of Dale from, it would have been 90 or 91. It was a GM Performance Parts poster publicity piece that I need to get framed and hang it on the wall back here.
Yes.
It's him and the Lumina in turn 4 at Daytona. I know, but it's just so cool.
Is it a painting, Charles?
No, it's an actually I have those as well, but no, it's an actual photograph.
This was my favorite car out of the whole thing. I don't know if you guys can see it real well.
No. What are you showing me there?
Finn, I think it was Childress's one of his earlier cars that had been restored.
One of Richard's early cars?
Yeah. But no, the most chilling moment for me in that entire museum, you walk through the hauler that was race used and that they would have all been in. That sent chills down my spine.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. To be in a hauler, I mean, it depends on what era it was from. But to be in the presence of, Richard, Dale, maybe Kirk Shelmerdine, Chocolate Myers, Larry McReynolds.
They say Chocolate Myers gives shop tours. Like, they have a specific time of the year they give shop tours, and Chalk's the one who does them.
That would be
really
fucking out there.
Yeah, I know it would.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Yeah, but ironically enough, we capped off the entire week, as you guys saw on the page, with USA East in Benson, North Carolina on Friday night. Man, that was fun. Seeing those super stocks and pro stocks run together, and Shelton's just laying down a 37-mile-an-hour pass going like 393. That was awesome. And then all the mini rods that showed up, the light pros, it was absolutely incredible. But can't say a big enough thank you to Richard Love there at the USA East and the Galat Motorsports Park Group for letting us come out there. It was a lot of fun, and getting to see guys run outdoors that I've only ever gotten to see run indoors during the winter. So enough of all that. Charles,
tells you how good a week he had when I was sitting through all my exams.
Oh, yeah. Forgot about the NHRA. I don't know how in the world I forgot about that.
What, the NHRA Hendricks scrap top fuel car, Brittany Forsett in the Hendricks,
no,
celebration?
My trip to St. Louis to hang out with them for a day. We literally haven't done a show since then, even. But that was a lot of fun
Yeah,
too.
let's hear about you getting baptized by Nitro.
Yeah, hang on.
One question though, Dylan, have you been baptized by Nitro yet?
I have.
Okay, good.
Good man. Darren, have you done that?
No, sir.
Oh,
yes, I'm not the only one anymore.
Yeah.
Yes.
I've heard a lot of stories
You're
about how
going
great
with
it
me.
is.
I don't care where we're going to figure this out. You're going with me. We're going to do this.
Yeah. We talked about going this year, my wife and I, and we just it didn't work out. So we everyone says, oh, you have to go to a big NHRA race and check it out.
I second that motion.
You are
now.
going with me. We're going to 2025. We're hitting one. And we're gonna go. I'm in your DMs. We're gonna figure this out.
Okay, sounds good, man.
If I had something to tell you that I did that I feel like would be a cool comparison, the weekend of TPC of 2023, we hit both TPC and Chicago all in one. You feel 4-engine, you feel 4-engine modifieds. Like I told Shane before, I said modifieds do not compare.
No, they don't.
Really? Okay.
No.
Sorry, I love pulling and everything, but yeah.
Rearrange your soul.
Stand next to a 4-engine modified at full song. Okay, you can feel the rumble in yourself. When you stand next to a fuel car, you shake.
Yeah, there's so many things that we can take from them and what they're doing and everything and apply it to pulling those, like how they park. And I mean, they're literally allowed a lot of X amount of footage, like in how much they can put a push out on their trailer, and like all of the categories are grouped together and everything. It's so neat. And so I got to go up to the starting line and feel them leave the line first. So I got kind of a pre-show with the first one that went down. It was a solo run. But then all of a sudden the second one came out and you guys saw the video in the group chat and it was just like, yo, okay, that's a thing. But then the thing that my mind still will not comprehend is how you can be so far away and see the object moving, but the sound doesn't come with it for like another 2 or 3 seconds. It is the weirdest thing, and my mind will not comprehend that.
Yeah. How much it blurs your vision is just insane.
Yeah. And then I got to meet a pretty cool guy before we left, and we might have something coming down the pipeline once NHRA season's over. I'm really excited for that.
Yeah, like I told you when you saw that, when you can't hear the sound but you see it, I said you're trying to comprehend the incomprehensible.
Yeah, it doesn't work.
Yes.
Oh yeah, and I got the opportunity to go through the TV production truck too. That was the coolest thing. Of course, I'm like a little kid in a candy store, but I mean, there's literally buttons from floor to ceiling that they all do something different. It's so neat. But yeah, that was my little spiel for the couple of trips that I've been on.
Unbelievable world that we get to have access to.
Yeah, it is.
To see that.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. I'm glad you had a good time and had the chance to experience all that.
And I can't say a big enough thank you to Mr. Ned Balser for that experience alone. I mean, he taught me so much in a short amount of time and everything. And was kind of nervous that I wasn't going to get to go because it had rained the day before and it rained them out. And it was looking like it could rain again, but it held off, thankfully. So, Charles, speaking of drag racing, though, we have got some Outlaw Diesel Drag Series news, and that's kind of where you've been occupied with majority of the day, you said.
It's been a wild 24 hours. Initially, yesterday, a release was put out by the organization, and I don't want to mischaracterize anything. I will read them as they were said. Pro classes may double enter. That was a new it was not actually, that's not a new thing. For years, the sportsman categories were always allowed to double class and run their index and then jump into ET. It was never specifically forbidden for a pro class to do the same thing. And what this rule is, it's the J. Lee Wagler rule. She ran her dragster at the finals in Pennsylvania, both in 590 and pro dragster. That was never actually prohibited, but it was also never expressly forbidden. So now it's codified that can happen. That's cool. No one is saying anything about that. The next piece was that Pro Mod was going to be 2-wheel drive only with a lowered weight rating based on SFI spec. And this is going to funnel into what's going to happen for Pro Street as well, which was also the second meeting tonight. We have not been able to get a proper audience with SFI to clarify their actual spec. For years, they have dismissed us as a niche. No one's going to answer the telephone. It's been a bunch of bullshit. And this morning, somebody picked up the fucking phone. And now we understand where we're at. The 25.6 chassis cert that we race with a lot of times in Pro Street is good to, it doesn't matter what the ET is. It's good to 180 miles an hour. No one in Pro Street is going that fast. So now we're fine to open the door and still be okay with our insurance, which is a big, big, big thing. And that is my day job. Big, big thing. We can now run Pro Street out with no limits, no caps. We can do this to 180 miles an hour. The fastest anyone has ever gone in a Pro Street truck is 177, Derek Rose. And that was a couple of years ago. I don't think anybody else is going to be able to approach that closely. The other thing that's going to change with Pro Street is that the 4,400 pound weight minimum is gone now. Now you are SFI spec limited to 5,000 pounds max or 3,600 pounds minimum. And it has to do with the safety of maximum impact crash rating. That's what SFI is about. So 180 miles an hour, 3,600 pounds, can you survive something like that? And I don't want to imagine that sort of scenario. I've been to a race. I've been through a race where there's been a fatal. It fucking sucks. But if I can keep these guys going as fast as they want, and they're all right doing it, and it's safe for them to do it, rock on. Let's do it. The next change is going to be for Pro Modified. The same thing applies to 25.6 chassis cert, 180 miles an hour in the 8th mile. If you can get yourself light enough to meet the 25.3 cert, it's under 3,600 pounds or less. Now the gloves come off. You can go as fast as you fucking want. And there are some 4-wheel drive trucks that are knocking on the door and being there. I don't know exactly what this means for Derek Rose particularly, because he's got the center seat position, which has always been his problem with his truck being he's always been the fastest diesel 4x4 at 177 miles an hour and a 4.3 and change. But he's a center seat, and he's a short guy. I'm not picking on him. He is. It fits for him, but it's a monster truck design truck for drag racing. Can we find a way to get him legal again and challenge what always has been there for us as a motorsport? I hope so. I really want to find a way to pursue our sport and have the awesomeness of being able to set records and astound people that diesel is doing this. But we do have to understand that insurance and SFI regs matter. And finally, we do know that what we thought we knew about the SFI 25.6 spec is actually wrong. And it opens the door for a very, very exciting 2025 season. And beyond that, there is a discussion about one of the most exciting classes in the sport, 590 index, being moved to 570. There's motivation from all of them to go faster and still hit that number. That will be a coming thing. There will be a meeting about that. I don't expect it to be disputed. I think it will happen. I'm really excited about what 2025 presents for the Outlaw Diesel Super Series and how fast diesel can go and what we can show the world that we're capable of. It's going to be awesome.
Totally agree.
Do you think it's going to be more of a learning curve, and do you think it's going to be a big learning curve for everybody with new SFI packages, or no?
No. I think so. The problem is we're actually already faster than the SFI spec. A lot of these guys are already exceeding it. That's the issue. And that's what drove the change for rules or specifying something different. We're already faster than that. But I want the guys that are faster than that to walk away when something goes wrong. I've been there when it doesn't. I don't want to do that again. I don't.
Yep, you want everybody to be as safe as possible. I mean, that's the thing we preach.
These guys are my brothers. I walk with them. I love them. Everybody talks about how tight tractor pulling is, and that's true. On the drag racing side, we all know what the ultimate sacrifice is, and yeah. I don't mean to get super emotional about it, but I love these guys, and I've seen what happens when it goes wrong, and I don't want it to go wrong for anybody else. I don't want to ever do that again. I've been there for that. I don't want to do that again.
Yeah. It's a point that needs to be made. Safety is a big thing. I mean, we don't want anybody to get hurt. It doesn't matter if it's pulling, racing. It all falls under the same umbrella. I mean, everyone to walk away if anything goes wrong. If they walk away, they're gonna be here another day.
Yeah,
100% Wyatt.
Equipment can always be replaced. People can't. So,
100% Wyatt. You're on it. Yep, 100%.
Have we heard anything new about Mr. Beckman from the NHRA side of things after he was showing vertigo-like symptoms on Sunday?
I have not, and I pray to God he's gotten through that. I don't know that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
Vertigo is definitely something that it sucks when it happens, but people always seem to come out the other side. I deal with a couple of people when it comes to school and business relations that have it, and you just got to play the waiting game.
Yeah. So what will that do to the car going forward? Will it just not go, or are they gonna have to find yet another person?
Well, he can run the car if he's able and physically able to. As far as points go, it's out now. It has to. He was the points surrogate behind John personally to accumulate those, and so if he didn't race, it didn't earn points. If he goes forward, he'll earn the points, whatever it is. If somebody else assumes the ride, then the points are null and void, and now it's just the car running.
Any idea who might be a replacement if he can't go?
If it doesn't run with Jack, it's not going to run, because I don't think at this point in time you have a replacement driver you could find. Ultimately, the one that comes to mind right away that maybe could replace him is Tommy Johnson Jr. or even Robert himself if he gets back in the car. But I don't see that happening, especially with only 2 races left in the season.
I agree.
Spencer's already in a top fuel ride when it comes to the Peyton car, and you can, in a current moment in time, you cannot race 2 pro categories at once. So and at this point, I mean, I want Jack to race as much as he can
for sure.
John.
Oh yeah.
But at this point in time, I mean, when it comes to points, I don't think anybody, not saying they don't want to pursue the points championship, but Austin's had such a great season that I don't
Austin's going to win this shit.
Everybody's going to Austin.
That's the point I'm getting to. I don't think anybody can catch Austin at this point.
No, I mean, last year's champion's already been knocked out of contention too.
Right, which I think we kind of got that from the last couple of weeks, and Austin's just laying it to him.
Yeah, man, it's been a crazy week. I was telling me and Wyatt and Charles and people have been talking about this all week. It seems like we took the week off and all of a sudden we come back, and just within the last few days, it's just everything's hitting the fan. And man, it's only Tuesday during the week. It's kind of nerve wracking for what's going to come the rest of the week.
Stuff got wild. Reality of racing is there are no days off. There is no Tuesday. It's always on. And this week proves it. And all the stuff that I've been through and you guys have been through and the stuff that you've seen, it's just going to go through all of that. And that's the life. But that's the life we chose.
It is.
Do we? I love it. I absolutely love it, because what else are you going to do?
Exactly.
I'm not the kind of guy that's going to go home on a Sunday with a 6-pack of Bud Light and watch a football game. I'm not that guy. You guys aren't that guys. We're going to do something that is awesome, and people are going to see it. And it's really, really cool that we get to live this life, because what else are you going to do? It's just so special, and I'm very thankful that guys like all of you are a part of my life and can do something like this with me. It's so cool.
Well, it's like one thing when it comes to the motorsport industry that I've seen, we never sit still no matter what it is. When our polling season's done, I'm not just looking for watching football on Sunday. There's still racing going on. There's still stuff to learn. There's still stuff to do in the shop to get ready for next season. If you're sitting still, you're falling behind is the way I think of it. And Dylan, you can attest to that with you guys trying for the longest time. I mean, finally getting that tractor back out. I know you guys never sat still on that thing. It was coming back at some point, but when it's finally back out, like you never left.
Yeah, Dylan, I unmuted you now.
Yeah, definitely, 100%.
So
Yeah.
what? Okay, I gotta ask though, when that thing returned, what did that feel like when you finally see that thing roll back on the track?
Oh, dude, when I heard Dad started up, I was like, oh, I missed that. I missed that so much.
Yeah, like, oh, we're back.
Oh yeah.
You got the chills, and you're like, all right, let's go, man, I'm ready.
Oh, dude,
Yeah.
it was awesome. I was like, oh, this is gonna be cool.
Yeah. There is one more or a couple of other tidbits of news to touch on too, though. The one we've kind of been sitting back and watching develop, and I just put a link to a video in our comments that best explains it and everything that's going on in the NASCAR world right now. The 2311 and Front Row Motorsports lawsuit. I think they're suing NASCAR because of antitrust, I believe is how they worded it.
Yes.
But it's such a weird thing to me because you would think this is something that NASCAR would want to shy away from and really not have talked about. Man, they are talking about this like crazy no matter what. I mean, they talked about it on TV the other day during the Roval race. And I don't really understand it besides to the point to where it's grown to where they're so limited into what they can do. That's the best way I understand it.
The only thing I can think of when they start talking about something and people actually start talking about it more is once it's been on everybody's mind, but it's just that first person to light the spark in that gasoline, it's going to catch like wildfire.
Yeah.
We've seen it with all the conversations that have been had. I mean, articles, podcasts, news segments when it's been going on. I mean, it's everywhere.
I mean, it's been well documented interviews for these guys that go out and race on the circle dirt tracks whenever they're not on the NASCAR tour, especially selling their own merch at the dirt tracks, that they make more off the dirt tracks than going to a NASCAR race. It's kind of crazy.
It really has to do with, and you and I talked before the show that I wanted to revisit
that video
the original dissection of what we were about. It has to do with equity.
Mm-hmm.
For the longest time, you could build a car, build a team, show up, and you could race, and you were guaranteed a spot. Now, there was always provisionals for past champions, past whatever, the couple provisionals.
Like the charter system was still there.
But the system of equity and accomplishment and doing what was necessary to be fast enough was allowed. And then the system changed where it said that now we're going to offer you as an independent contractor a stake in the system, so to speak. And those charters, which is what they're called, became a place of value. And not only do you have to create the racing team to compete within NASCAR, you've got to afford the charter. And the charter for a lot of years has come with its own cachet that earned you revenue share from TV, from whatever it was. And so the value of it increased to a point where now it's going to cost you on or about the order of $40 million just to buy the license.
Yeah.
Charter's the wrong word now. License to be a NASCAR racer. Now you also have to, after you spend the $40 million to get that, now you got to build a shop, build the cars, build the team, fucking figure that all out, and you might get your ass kicked.
Yeah.
It's become a financial boondoggle for anybody that wants to be a part of it. And when you look at the revenue share of everything that is existent, most of it goes to NASCAR themselves.
Because they own the track, a lot of the tracks now, too.
Because they own most of the tracks. That helps them. IMS is no longer an individual entity anymore. It's part of NASCAR. They own a bunch of tracks. So the revenue share now goes straight to them. And Dale Earnhardt Jr. has been very outspoken about his decision not to expand beyond Xfinity because of this. He said it doesn't make financial sense for me to go cup racing. I'll just be an Xfinity racer. We'll have a great time. Everything's going to be sweet.
I mean,
NASCAR has done shit its bed. They have fucked it up so bad when it comes to not only the charter stuff, but the car design. And this is if you're a longtime sidetrack listener, this is not going to be new to you. The fucking tire design, the independent suspension, they've fucked this car up so bad. Put it back on live axle with bias ply tires, and I'll show you some awesome ass racing like we used to have in the 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s. They fucked it up. They done fucked it up.
Yeah. I mean, they're all the same chassis too, especially on the cup level.
Yeah.
I saw that firsthand last week.
Camaro, Camry, Mustang, it's like stickers. Stickers tell you the difference. And you gotta buy the parts from NASCAR.
I thought they had approved suppliers.
You're in violation of NASCAR. Well, who's paying for that? And how are they getting rich off selling you the fucking flaps on the hood? It's bullshit. Where do you get to? Where is the ability to learn and decide different stuff and learn how to race and figure out a better car? You can't even do that anymore. And if you go against it now, it's not even just rules violation. You're a supplier violation. Fucking stupid.
I saw that the thing that came out from Sunday is that somehow, who was it? Who drives 48? Is it Alex Bowman?
Alex Bowman.
Somehow he didn't make minimum weight after the race was over, after it went through tech anyway and passed.
No, if
he didn't, he
didn't. That's fine.
They didn't even contest the penalty though. So I'm trying to figure out where the weight went between the two tech sessions though.
Well, yeah, that's a fair point, but that's one where it's like, okay, I get that one. That's incontrovertible, but there's a bunch of other shit. It's like, no one's trying anymore. You can't.
Yeah.
It pisses me off. It's not the NASCAR that I knew. It's not the NASCAR that Darren knew. Yeah. GM used to be based in Flint, and you had this apparatus that would come over the top of the car, and then after that, if you pass that, you were good to go, and you could do some stuff to assuage not only the rule book, but you could also design a car that was legal and relatable to the American citizen. And now here's the further problem. Detroit doesn't build those fucking cars anymore. They don't. Camaro's dead. Mustang
On the way.
coming.
It's coming.
Challenger dead. What is fucking NASCAR anymore? You gonna race goddamn Ford Escapes and Toyota jelly beans? I don't even know what the fuck. What are you gonna do? What is it?
Like this,
The rules were always a model year within 5 years. There isn't that anymore. NASCAR has shit its own bed.
Yeah.
It's really, really disappointing because I used to devote so much attention and so much time to that. I sought out newspapers in the 1990s. You know, I didn't have cable TV. You know, we weren't a wealthy family. I couldn't afford that. And so I was just seeking out Detroit news. What's going on? What happened? Who won today? Now I don't care. I don't care. You've lost me. You have taken someone who cared so much about the sport and have told him he doesn't matter anymore. And that's where I'm at. I don't give a shit. NASCAR, you can go fuck yourself. I'm over it. I'm done. 100%. I'm done.
Shane, I can honestly agree. That's what's when it comes to like my growing interest in like dirt track racing and more in drag racing is the ingenuity, the thought behind it, the skill. It's there. It's a lot more there, and it's intriguing. So anyway,
Yeah.
Too heavy. Sorry.
Just a little bit on the language, buddy. Just a little bit.
we can end this thing on a positive note. Anything else we want to really cover that's been on the more positive side?
Yeah, Midwest Winter Nationals, Super Farms, 4-1 Limited Pros, 2 6s and 3 0s get signed up ASAP, please.
Per Clint Tucker.
Yeah, I got off the phone with him, and light limited supers can still sign up. I know we're at 24, 26 of them. But other than that, I think we're pretty well to idle until we head into Diesels and Dark Corners in November.
Do you have what are the dates and locations on that, Shane? I know Charles and I talked about this a little bit yesterday.
For which one, buddy?
Midwest Winter Nationals.
Cloverdale, Indiana, C-Bar C. Is it Calspoke Arena at C-Bar C or something like that?
Probably Cowpokes, because I know
9th.
Cowpokes opened a store in there now too.
January 9th through the 11th.
Okay.
Yeah. Darren, you're gonna have to take me boot shopping.
Yeah.
Darren, are you coming?
I don't know. I'll have to see. I've not been to the Midwest Winter Nationals. I have been to the C-Bar C, but there is a Cowpokes in the C-Bar C now, Charles. Get your hat shaped and get some new boots there.
Come on, dude. Let's go.
Cool.
Yeah,
I got you. You come on. Let's go.
We'll have to see.
I'll bring you in.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want you there.
All right, y'all. And with that, we will see y'all for episode number 32. Looking like the 29th of October is going to be the next one. And we'll figure out what we're going to do for that between now and then. Darren, awesome having you on the show, dude. First time for you being on here. And let's not make it the last. I enjoyed having you on here for this one. Then Dylan, again, man, thank you so much for partnering with us with your bell at the farm pool. We've really enjoyed promoting that with you, and we're going to continue until the pool all the way up to the beginning, and then we'll have a picture of something special whenever it arrives out there.
I'm waiting on whoever shows up to that dang thing. It sounds like it's going
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be
Any more
fun.
people that want to come from back there, they're more than welcome to come test their luck against some California trucks and tractors.
Yeah, go for it.
So
All right,
let's
y'all.
call out to any of the eastern, east of the Rockies, wherever the heck it is. Anybody out here, go west.
Yeah.
Make a trip because they've done it for us.
100%.
All right. See y'all.
Say hi to John Bohr
Thank you
for me.
guys. It was fun.
Dude, he's awesome.
Yep.
Yep. I'll let John know.
Yep. Stay on, boys, after.